Know where you're called by God. You ready? Three gates of heaven. It's in this book here. When I wrote this book, Apostle, we realized why we were successful all those years. We never realized it was the kingdom when we had a system. I was just living my raw bone faith, you guys. I had proof, but I couldn't teach it to you. I had evidence, but I couldn't explain it to you. Not knowing that God would one way make me a doctor, a chancellor, and an educated man to help people. I was literally trying to feed my family and prove all the religious people wrong. Because when I got saved, I worshiped and would fall out. Embarrass my family. I couldn't even contain the presence of God. I just fall out. My wife's like, you ain't gonna fall out. Look, I ain't trying to fall. I refuse. What God was doing, he was busting me down. He was dealing with that pride, that ego, and that I was full of it, you guys. Yeah. I was full of it. Yeah. That's why God had me get saved in a white church and not a black church. Yeah. I would have never changed. Because when I would meet with the black preachers, they would talk about sexual stuff and mess my soul up. Wow. When I go to the white church, they would just be pure and holy. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying every church was like that, but every black leader I talked to was talking, oh, look at that there. And I'm saying, I don't want to look at that right there. That's what I'm struggling with. My God. Then I found out you can carry the church in your back pocket. I said, what do you mean? You start it, you put it in, you can dig in and get it out. But the white people didn't run the churches like that. I'm thinking, what is this? That's diabolical. That's what it is. You don't run the church like a black church. You run the church like God's church. Then it becomes generational. Because here's a white man that ran it like a white man, and it ain't there no more. Why? Because it ain't a color, it's a spirit. It's a principality called religion. Do what you want to do. Called racism. So we got to destroy the spirit of racism. We got to look at it right in the face and says, we're going to live the way good people live. We're going to do what good people. That's a dynamic leader. He ain't got nothing to do with color. Sometime I go to the Mercedes dealer, they didn't wash my car years ago. Do you wash the black people's cars that come in? The man looked at me. I said, because I've been here 3 times in a row, and I realized that thought it was maybe me, but I watch all the white people get their cars washed. So is there a certain tag in the system that says black man Mercedes? Or do I need to go, Dr. Christopher, we apologize. Okay. That's how I deal with racism. I confront it. I confront it. I don't use it as an excuse to be black. I confront it. That's what dynamic people do. We don't negotiate with terrorists. 3 gates of heaven, the church. Now this is my opinion. I believe very few people are called to work inside the church. We're called to serve in the church. Because if we're taking out all the resources, then we can't go out and do nothing. Amen? So I believe we can be king and priest and serve in the church in whatever capacity. But then we have to realize, am I called to go out into the marketplace or the workplace? We divide them up for clarification purposes in the book. You're either called to run your own business or work for someone that has their own business. Some of you ain't disciplined enough to own your own business. You're not nice enough. See how I smile? We were part of a Caucasian church for years, and when I would speak on the platform, the elders would take me back afterwards and say, the people are afraid of you. I said, why? He said, it's those things you say. I said, I'm going to keep saying them. They said, well, could you smile? I can do that. So I learned, we learned from other ethnicities. I would make my statements against them principalities, and then smile. So when you see me smiling, I'm dealing with your devil. Amen? I smile at myself in the mirror. Get yourself together. Listen to your wife. Listen to your kids. Stop listening to your flesh. I got 12 minutes. I'm doing real good. We got to know which gate we're called to. Am I called to? Everybody should serve in the church. So I'm serving this morning.